that's definitely gonna be it, you know. So I got to come up with something. I don't really know.
And it's not a podcast.
It's definitely not a podcast. This is more the view. This is like the bird's eye view in front of you. Like it's like the view of the view. So, man, who are you, man? What's up?
Man, my name is Nazir. I go by Osaze, my middle name, and I'm the owner of Siempre. The Siempre organization, Siempre Empire, Siempre the brand, you feel me? And Siempre just means forever. Like, from Burlington, from Cedar Grove. If you know me, you know. Like.
Okay. What was the upbringing like? What was that for? You know, like how you were raised and, you know, sibling-wise and, you know, what does that look like? Because you were raised both in Cedar Grove and Burlington, right?
Yeah, facts.
Parts of Durham, too, though.
Facts.
Yeah, so where you at? How'd that upbringing look?
Upbringing, when I was coming up, it wasn't nothing I would say too out the way, too crazy, too special, I would say, but it was what many people could expect. Like, just coming from this area, you would know a lot of us do grow up in one-parent households. A lot of us do grow up with multiple siblings in that same household, and it sometimes might strain your resources, and you might have to figure a way to make it happen. And like you said, from Burlington to Cedar Grove, that's always what we were competing against. Even though both of my parents have always been in my life and continue to be in my life, like just not being with one or both of them all the time, that definitely can, it can definitely make it a little difficult to get the things that you need sometimes or get to the places that you need to be sometimes, but it always happened. They always made sure it happened, but.
Do you think that had a outlast on you? You know, just kind of creating you and shaping you as the man you are today, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it just made me really resilient to a lot of the barriers or a lot of the obstacles that I would end up facing in my young adult life, because I'm 22 right now, turned 23 this year. So I just feel like it helps me jump over those hurdles that a lot of people might have never come across before in their life, which I'm well versed in. Like, I know how to jump this hurdle extremely well. So I just feel like it's sort of, my childhood was sort of, it was great, I loved it, but it was really like going through that fire. Like, you had to be tempered.
Right.
And if you weren't built for it, shit, I wouldn't have been here, so.
Wow. And sibling-wise, how do you think that kind of transition with them? You know, because they're watching you, you know. I don't know, are you the oldest?
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
I'm the oldest in the siblings that I was raised with, but all together, it's 9. I got 9, or 9 including me. But at the ones I was raised with, I'm the oldest. So shout out to all my brothers and sisters, you feel me? Shout out to all of y'all, I love all y'all. But the ones I was raised with, they was looking up to me, and it just gave you that sense of responsibility. Like, even though you might not be where you want to be right now, even though you might feel like you can't provide right now, you got to keep it going, because the time keep ticking. Like, the day don't stop. Like, everybody got to eat, everybody got to get to where they need to be. And you got to make it happen. If it's 3 of y'all plus one of your parents, everybody got to be somewhere. So it's sort of like a tag team situation. It's a team more than it is like, oh, this my little brother, this my daddy, this my, like, it's a team. Like, you got to make that happen for the team for us to win. So,
wow.
Like, the shit that you see, it be real a lot of times. But that's no on the Bluff boy. That shit right there, he ain't tell no stories. That's what I mean. That's right. That's hip hop. You feel me? When people talk about hip hop, they think about rapping. But hip hop is everything. Making your apparel, like, that's hip hop. The business that you do in this space, in this black ass space, regardless of what people want to say, like, we are hip hop. Like, anything that we do, the business, the apparel, the culture that we create as a whole, that's hip hop. And we gotta cultivate it. Really, music is very powerful, not just to me, but I think it's like, that's a fact that music is powerful and it can move mountains. Like, you put vibrations up underwater, you put vibrations up under sand, and it's gonna move. We made of water, like, we made of minerals, so that music is gonna move you. And I just feel like, in terms of the things that I want for my people in my community, that's telling your story through music don't mean making it seem like something that it's not. It don't always mean making it seem like something that you want it to be. A lot of times it means telling the truth about what's going on or what has gone on. Because understanding what has happened will help you better understand what needs to happen. So I don't I don't look at music as just a hobby or a way to get more traction or a way to get more views or more money or nothing like that. Music is almost our duty. Like it keep that's a lot of what kept us going as a people through all the hardships that we face in the last few hundred years. Music really got us through a lot of that, and it keep us going. Cultivating this and taking care of it, I feel like that would be really important for us moving forward. Also, especially with how hip hop is today, how a lot of people see it as being detrimental, but you got to understand where we at right now. The stories that we telling right now ain't nothing but the truth. Even if it sound bad, even if we drilling and killing, like it's the truth about what's going on. People might not like the how we relay it, but the fact that we are relaying it, we are a reflection of what's going on in this country for all people. And when we spit these rhymes, when we draw our art or whatever it is, that's us telling y'all this what's going on at the lowest level.
And then you got to put the grind in, bro. I think people be scared to grind. I really do. Like, I genuinely think, aside from the interview that we're shooting right now,
you can't even really blame people for that because, like we were saying, like the risk, the initial investment, that's always the hardest part. Like just being sure that, oh, this what I want to do. You ain't gonna know until you try it, and then you might try it and be like, man, I do not want to do this shit. That's a lot of people's worst fear, but as soon as you realize I don't want to do this, mark it off your list. You got a whole bunch of other shit on your list. Invest in the next thing. Or you could, like we said, go to a warehouse, go to Maven, go to a warehouse, and just work there.
And just do it with no side hustle, no nothing.
You could do it. You would be all right, but you would be doing some shit you have to do. You wouldn't be doing nothing that you want to do.
Exactly.
And I'm not. No.
That's a negative.
That ain't no way to live. That's a way to survive.
Yep.
Ain't no way to live at all.
Survival, man. And I think people get that twisted. I'm gonna actually go ahead and let you elaborate on that a little bit.
With the survival.
Yeah, the survival versus living. Boy, you know, what does that even look like?
Because because this is, like, for me, this is living, like, building my brand, building my legacy. Because I got it on my hood. Tell me when you can see it.
Repeat that.
Your legacy matters.
Yeah, I'm gonna just step back just a hair from me. Right there, up a little bit. Yeah, there it is.
Your legacy matters, for real.
On the hood.
So
on the hood, and these are gonna be purchased soon.
Yeah, these are gonna be available real soon. This right here is a prototype. Like this for me, the one got an official one.
This is true.
But cause that's found.
I got one on hand.
Tap in. But like living versus surviving, when you living, you get to do what you want to do for real.
Of that. So with social media, and I mean every platform that you can probably think of, music influences that heavily. Super heavily.
Exactly. Like that's the culture.
Yeah, whether it's TikTok and dancing or you know, Instagram kind of where you're throwing it on reels and whatever else. So how does that play out? Like how does the internet kind of influence the music industry that based off what you see? And maybe even your own music, you know, do you find yourself kind of making music that heavily have good beats, you know, solid beat and tones to kind of help you out with your lyrics, or do you just, you know, you can throw on something and kind of adapt to it?
Really, I can make a whole song just from nothing, like just sitting right here, like make the whole song, no beat, nothing included, because like I said, it ain't really about the clout or the traction that come with the music after you release it, or that come with the beat. Because a lot of times, like, the producers, they really make a lot of this music. A lot of times we on the track saying nothing. It sound like it's perceived to be, but when it comes to the internet and music, I feel like we have a lot of artists that are sort of what they would call now a microwave artist. Like, they ain't got no real development. They ain't got no real brand about themselves. They don't have no message or no movement. Whereas when we was coming up, like when you had an artist jump out there they was about something and they had a whole team behind them pushing that same thing. And that's why I feel like a lot of the artists that, like from that 2016, 2017 era, they sort of stuck around because they were the last ones with that movement. They was the last one that came with their whole team. Now, it's like you said, the TikTok. If I can get this jumping on TikTok, I just recorded this on my phone, on my laptop, by myself in this room. Why would I need a team? Why would I need to have a purpose of why I'm doing this? Because I popped without a purpose. I popped without a team. So I think it just leaves a lot of people stagnant. We don't really use the internet for what we could be using it for. I ain't saying it's a detrimental thing. I'm just saying we in the learning stage right now, and it's, for lack of a better term, it's casualties to that. So like my boy was got down, whatever you do, keep that camera rolling. When he was on that type of time, it's because he want to show y'all like, this what going around here. This our hip hop around this bitch.
This is what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yep. Raw. Straight raw footage too, and I appreciated that.
But still to this day, I don't know if that movie real or if them was actors or what, and I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn either way. I really think the first one was real. I never checked out the second one because it just
too raw.
Yeah, that first one was just too raw, bro. Like this man is every day something else.
Down there in Vine City, not playing no game.
None.
He said, "Who out here on the block?" Nah. And that night.
That same night.
Went and handled it.
Same night.
And it's so crazy to a lot of people, but it's like, y'all will go to Atlanta and visit. Y'all go see Coca-Cola Factory. Y'all go see, they got Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Y'all go see all that, but y'all don't know. Atlanta wasn't just that to begin with. Like, it was real people living there. It was real communities, real successful communities being built. And then just like a lot of other places in our communities or in our society, shit, the 80s, bro. The 80s through the 2000s, boy, that ravaged us, boy.
That, I think, man, I don't know if it set us back or put us forward 10 years, but the 80s through the 2000s was very interesting, guys. If you just take the time to go back and look at Hillsborough, I mean, not Hillsborough, hip-hop, period. Just the culture, like, kind of cultivating and kind of growing itself and shaping itself, man. The 80s and to like the early 2000s, you cannot go naming hip-hop people and certain things that happened in history without naming stuff that happened during that time period. Mm-hmm. There's just no way.
Because that's what bred hip-hop to begin with. It's sort of, not to say that we not also in punk rock, but hip-hop, in terms of rap, that's like our version of punk rock. Even though we do have a lot to do with the culmination and the creation of punk rock music and rock music as a whole, hip-hop is really just our way of, like, that's where we got our angst and our anxieties and our fears about the way that the culture is going. Like, when people was in New York and they was creating what we call rap music, hip-hop today, in their backyard, like, it was because of the things that they were seeing in their communities. Yep. They were seeing these people getting strung out on this drug they thought they was going to be able to get high on one time, and then they was high for the rest of their life. And it was a scary thing to see. And when you living in this, you waking up in Bed-Stuy every morning and you see this out your door every morning, it's like, damn, like, you used to take care of me and now you act like you don't even know who I am no more. Like, that's terrifying. So that's, we sort of forget where it come from. We sort of forget to respect where it came from, but that's only because we still going through it. Like, how you remember some shit you still going through.
And so artist-wise, who, I would say, not really, it doesn't have to be a one man, one woman, but really who helped you kind of come up with this music? You know, like come up with your basis for your music, kind of what genre you want to jump into, and maybe you want to jump into more genres that you see yourself in.
I mean, being from where we're from, being from North Carolina, like, country, it bang here. Like, we listen to that anywhere we go. Like, especially being in Cedar Grove, like, you gonna hear that. You gonna hear the Conway Twitty. You gonna hear all of that. But that influenced me. But at the same time, like, doing the history on country music, and it take me to the blues music with Robert Johnson and all of them. Like, all of that, I allow all of that to influence me. Like James Brown, Aretha behind me, like just all of that stuff. You take it and you ball it up, and then this is what you got now, and that's sort of how I sort of shape my music to be. Like listen to the Spanish music, like really los corridos, like the Mexican music, cause I am tapped in with a lot of Mexicans, not Hispanics. I'm talking about Mexicans. I grew up with them, so it's just you take all of those influences and you respect them and you make it. You just sort of learn the culture. You sort of just learn what this is and what that is and what this means, and it become part of who you are. It's not nothing that you can really fabricate. I could listen to some country music and try to make a country song, but if that ain't how I come up, I won't know the colloquialisms. I won't know the implications that certain things that I'm gonna say might have. It feel like every day feel like a holiday. Every day feel like a beach day. Like that's what I compare it to being where we live at.
Right.
It feel like when I'm really living, when I'm out here doing what I want to do, I feel like I'm at Myrtle Beach or something. I feel like I'm Emerald Isle. Like
Man.
it ain't no, all right, let me go to work, da 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 da. It's not. I'm about to go make this. I'm about to get to work real quick. I'm about to do what I need to do, and that's all part of me living. It ain't. I'm taking no pause in my life so I can survive. It's not none of that. Cause when you do that, you separate your life from sort of just what you have to do. Like that's not nothing that
It's
people
scary
do.
business.
Yeah,
That's a lot of scary business, I mean.
it is.
Especially, and I think that helps. I think that goes along with the paycheck to paycheck. You know,
Yeah.
I think that goes along to that. A lot of us right now are just surviving.
But
you
that's
know?
what pushes us to do this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that fear of, dang, where I work at, they could just be like, oh, I don't want you working here no more. And now that paycheck to paycheck don't even exist no more.
Yeah. Now you got to hit the ground running. What are you gonna do?
You better make it work. And it's just like you can set up your own safety net. You don't have to rely on nobody else to provide for you. You can create whatever it is that you're missing or whatever it is that you feel like you need. Like I always wanted, cause I'm a nigga. Like I'm a nigga in America, in the South. Like I want to put that shit on. You feel me? I want to be able to walk out here and talk to who I want to talk to, and for them to be like, oh, you got that on today. But how many times have I been able to afford it in my lifetime? Never. So it's just like if I can't afford to buy it from somebody else that
Right.
designed it, I'm a designer.
You just create it yourself.
Period. Like I'm a designer.
And the
Like,
way you want to. You know,
Yeah.
when you come into the creating and the designing, you kind of can do it any kind of way you want to or feel good. And that's not to discourage, let's not get into the 9 to 5 bashing. That's not what we're doing here.
because I'm still on that too.
Yeah. Like, this is not something that, some people aren't really living through. This is more like a lifestyle that you choose. If you want it to be Monday and you want to dread every day for the next 4 to 5 days,
You feel me?
you
Every
can
day
absolutely
can be
do
Monday.
that. You can absolutely do that.
Every day can be Monday. Or you could have your Mondays, do the Mondays that you need to do. And then after that, every day could be Saturday for real.
Absolutely.
Like you go where you need to go. Work at that gas station, work at Food Line, work at Walmart, do whatever it is that you need to do to get your funds up and support your dream. But make your dream come true, because that's your life.
Yeah.
Make your dream come true. That's your responsibility. Because I know people don't just dream of things and be like, I'm going to leave my family, I'm going to leave all of it behind. A lot of times when we do separate from our people and we think about maybe you have to leave out the state to go get money, you doing it for them people back at the house. So when you making your dream come true, you doing it for them people back at the house. So don't support your dream, because your dream is going to support a lot of other people, for real.
That's how toucan imagery is supposed to be going. That's why when people be like, yo, like, what are you doing?
Bro, you gotta capture this shit, because they taking it.
Yeah, bro.
They
And
taking this shit up.
And then they don't believe it when you tell them, be like, bro, like, I've really had all this planned. Like,
Yeah.
3 years before I even picked up my first camera, I've been had this jump planned.
All the way. It ain't even nothing that you just, like we say, it can't be fabricated. Like it's almost like it's not your idea. It's just like you just know. Like niggas just know, bro.
It's wild. You know, it's wild. Of course, you know, once you show yourself how to take the pictures, all right, then you get clients off that. And then you teach yourself how to fly a drone. You know, why do you need a drone? Because why not?
Because why not?
You know,
It's so much more to see. You feel me?
It's so much more. It's so much more to the
that
eye.
day was on Okanichi, bruh. Them shots that you got out there with that drone,
Nuts.
Nuts. Bruh. That shit, that day right there was lit as hell.
That day was it, bro.
That
and now imagine how better that day can be.
You feel
know what
me?
I'm saying? That day can be so much better. I think about that day all the time, and I'm just like, damn.
That shit.
We was on to something that day.
Really, really gotta put your feet out here on that shit, bro.
And so then after the drone, I was like, all right, I'm gonna see what this video talking about. And then I was like, all right, I gotta learn my lane. See what is my lane with this video. And I was like,
is
bro,
it music videos? Is it interviews? Is it all of it?
Right. Is it both? You know, should I shoot short films? You know, I was like, damn, I don't really know. But I was like, man, look, I'm going to start with little visuals, stuff like that. Came out with those last year. And I was like, okay. After that, now we in interview mode. And then it's going to be short films with interviews. So that's where I'm at, bro. That's my peak there.
I just want to write a script or two, bro. I got to give you a script or two, bro. I've been writing that shit since elementary school for real.
I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. Yeah, bro, it's wild, bro. When you really look back and see that, like, I mean, it's all the pieces to the glue, bro. It's been there.
I'm saying,
you just gotta put them joints together.
Like, just being around, knowing, like, oh shit, like, this and shit. You've been playing it since high school, like middle school.
Yep.
You've been writing this shit down, been doing
it.
this. Like, when people talk about manifestation, this is that. This what it looked like.
This is what it looks like.
This is magic in action. Like, you seeing it.
And I'm smiling about it, because it's like, bro, like, why not?
Look where a nigga at. Look what a nigga get to do.
Right here all day.
It ain't what you have to do. It ain't nothing you have to do, because it's this some shit niggas get to do.